Ant-Man. Okay, so
I do.
me then Don. Okay.
First of all, sound okay.
No matter what age your child is, you want the best for their future. What do they want to do after graduation? What career path do they want to take? These questions can be overwhelming. That's why you should ask them this question. What's your E? Seminole County Public Schools ePathway program is designed for your student to choose their own path in life from as many options as we can offer. Whether they're looking to enlist, enroll, or be employed, we're excited to help you and your child make it happen. Want them to enroll in a college or university? We'll help you find the best school for them to continue their education. Learn about grants and programs to help your child obtain their degree at a pace and a cost that works for you both. Are they looking to go straight into employment? Discover a variety of trades and skills that will propel their future. They can learn aviation maintenance, automotive repair, culinary arts, and more to hone their talents in growing industries. Is your child interested in enlistment? We'll help them find the right path of service, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire response, or EMS. They can serve the community while learning skills that will last a lifetime. What's your E? Explore options with ePathways by visiting us online at the link below.
What inspired me to get into engineering was Lego. So I started as a kid, as most kids do, working with Legos and just kind of doing your own thing, building the Lego sets, and I would often take apart my Lego sets, mix them together, and build something completely. Then in about 4th grade, I was introduced to Lego robotics, which is where you have a actual robot that you could program, and you start with this brick, and that would feed information to Lego motors, and it would all communicate as a system, and you could do a lot of really cool robotic tasks with that. And that was really the start of me looking into engineering. The engineering I'm looking to pursue at first is mechanical engineering. This is what I'm going to go to UCF for, and this is going to be the start of my career. A mechanical engineer can really do anything. They work with a lot of thermodynamics and a lot of vibrations and really just anything that moves. So a lot of fields use mechanical engineering. I wanted to go past that and specialize into biomedical engineering, which is more along the lines of surgical robotics and medical machinery. I wanted to develop surgical robots, and with that I need to know exactly how the human body functions and how it functions with robotic systems. Essentially, I'll be able to design a system where a person will be able to communicate with a motor and hopefully improve their quality of life, whether this be through a surgical robot that a doctor is controlling or whether it's prosthetic that's motorized.
I taught Josh his freshman year. He was so good with that inventor material. He picked up on it very quickly. He was ready to jump in and help other students, which I really, really appreciated. And he has carried those characteristics with him as he has moved through the program. And now with his journey moving forward in bioengineering, I can't wait to see what he's going to make with his knee brace and the orthotics that he's trying to produce.
The current prosthetic I'm looking at developing is a load-bearing knee brace in which I'm going to take a motor or servo and attach that to the knee, which will enable a person to be able to push past what their muscles currently are able to do, whether that be because of muscle fatigue or osteoarthritis in the kneecap where they're not able to put a lot of pressure on their knee. Current knee braces really only work when walking. There's still a lot of pain when there's extra forces being applied to the knee, such as walking upstairs or standing up from sitting down. Things you and I normally don't think about, but for someone that has severe arthritis in their knee, this is hugely painful.
The strongest advantages of project-based learning, that hands-on experience that allows you to manipulate that material, really solidifies in the brain exactly how those things work.
The thing I would say about this program where it exceeds the most is the more you use it, the more it'll benefit you.
When our board members asked you to come tonight, I didn't know that.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. I call to order the January 20th, 2026 regular school board meeting. The invocation and pledge will be provided by a student from Winter Springs High School, Joshua Williams. Joshua will be introduced by Assistant Superintendent for High Schools, Mr. Mike Rice.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. Tonight I have the joy of introducing an extraordinary young man from Winter Springs High School, Joshua Williams. Joshua is the heartbeat of the arts on his campus. He spent 4 years in drama, now serving as the president of the Thespian Honor Society, and has also given 3 years to chorus, stepping up as a section leader and a student conductor, lending both his voice as well as his leadership. He's a proud member of the Young Men of Excellence and recently earned second place at the 25-26 Dr. Martin Luther King Oratorical Scholarship, a testament of his presence, his poise, and his power with words. Joshua is the youngest of three, carrying a family legacy at Winter Springs High School. His mother, Dr. Tamika Williams, once mentored students through the Young Women of Excellence, and now her son stands before us here, making his own mark as well. He's a young man that leads with talent. He speaks with purpose and uplifts everyone around him. Sharing his speech with us tonight from the Oratorical Contest, please welcome Joshua Williams.
Hope is a difficult concept to understand because you can be so filled with hope, but at the sight of any mere inconvenience, it can all just go away. We lose hope when disappointment clouds our hearts with doubt and fear. Fear of being let down or fear of not knowing the future outcome. But I'm not here to tell you what hope is. I'm here to teach what hope was and what it could be. In today's world, we are so concerned with social hierarchy and how others perceive us that we hide from the impossible and fear of failure. Instead of going out and achieving what hasn't yet been achieved, we wait and we watch the few brave people in the world do it. Why can we not all be brave? Why can we not all do it? It is because fear keeps us from using hope the right way. The right way would be to set goals that seem unachievable. The right way would be to not just hope to achieve those goals, but to use hope as a driving force to achieve them. The right way will be to accept disappointment. In the words of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Now, what does that really mean? Well, finite means having bounds or limits. In order to hope, we must be limitless. We must be infinite. Dr. King was saying that even when we fail, we must keep pushing with hope. Hope that goals can be achieved. Hope that fear will not hold us back. Hope that failure is just a checkpoint and not the finish line. That is what hope could be. But with hope must also come faith. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance in what we do not see." Faith is our anchor. Without an anchor to hold us down, we drift away. Without faith, we cannot hope. Because then what are we hoping to? The wind? Our ancestors did not endure working in the fields with no rest and beatings with no mercy by praying to the wind. They prayed to the Lord, knowing their prayers would be answered no matter the disappointment, by the grace of God. Hope got them through it, but faith kept them hoping. For years and years, they hoped with no change because they knew to accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. That is what hope was. So we've talked about what hope was and what it could be, but what exactly will hope be in the future? Well, I cannot predict the future. All I can do is hope. Hope that future generations will not become clouded by fear of disappointment, and that they will use hope as their engine to drive them to do what we now think of as impossible. That they will bring back what was, and they will hope with faith and assurance in God, that even in darkness, the light of hope will shine infinitely in everyone. Thank you. Will everyone now stay standing for the pledge? I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Joshua. You inspire us. Let the record reflect that Member Davis, Member Garrick, Member Kraus, Member Sanchez are all present, along with Superintendent Beeman, Attorney Cole Palmer, and Jill Moramus, our board clerk. Ms. Moramus, do we have any acknowledgments? Okay. Thank you. Superintendent, do we have any agenda modifications?
Yes, the addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda as addendum item.
Thank you. Board members, roll call for today, roll call for today is Member Sanchez, Vice Chair Garrick, Member Kraus, Member Davis, and then myself. Do you have any agenda modifications?
No modifications, Chair. Thank you.
No modifications.
Member Davis?
No modifications.
And I have no modifications. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the agenda outline?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Superintendent, do we have any presentations?
Yes, we have a number, and we'll start with our Veteran of the Month, Ms. McConico, school counselor from Millennium Middle School, who will be introduced by Principal Dr. Hicks.
Good evening. I am Maria Lucas, the proud intern supervisor of Ms. McConico, and I'll be subbing and doing her introduction today. Kawashine McConico enlisted in the United States Navy on September the 19th in 2018 and distinguished herself through dedicated service, leadership, and professional growth. After completing basic training, she accepted the role of Master's in Arms, serving as an officer in the Navy's security forces. During 2 active duty tours, she provided essential security support for the naval base Ventura County, California, and the Sudi Bay Crete in Greece. Rising to the rank of Petty Officer Second Class, she took on diverse responsibilities, including base patrol officer, police dispatcher, SPAR representative, and watchstander, demonstrating adaptability, pose, steadfast commitment to the safety and well-being of others. As a security force specialist, she earned qualifications in firearms handling, safety, CPR, first aid, drone operation, security, and emergency vehicle operation. Today, she continues to serve with the Orlando Navy Reserve Unit, contributing part-time to the U.S. Navy. In her role, she mentors and advises new and junior sailors as a career counselor and remains ready to serve as Master at Arms. When called upon, a testament to her own ongoing dedication to her fellow service members and to the nation. Alongside her military career, she has pursued excellence in education and mental health. She completed her master's degree in school counseling, graduating May 10th of 2024. Her school-based journey began as her intern for Sanford Middle School, Go Warriors, under the mentorship of myself, and progressed in her full-time role as a sixth grade counselor at Millennium Middle School, hired by Dr. Crystal Higgins. She is currently advancing toward her licensure in mental health counseling, furthering her ability to support students and families with compassion and professional skills. We honor her today for her exemplary service, her commitment to leadership, her mentorship, and her unwavering pursuit of growth, both in uniform and in the schools she serves.
All right, good evening again, board members and Ms. Beeman. Tonight, I get the privilege to once again recognize some of the state of Florida's top athletes who competed in Florida High School Athletic Association's state championships. These young men and women are the best of the best, and we are extremely proud of our athletes and their coaches who have earned this honor, one that very few individuals will ever get to experience. And as I get things started this evening, we have a unique opportunity to recognize the academic state champions from Seminole High School. If you could please put your hands together and welcome the Seminole High School girls cross country team. The Seminole High School girls cross-country team didn't just race past the competition this season, they sprinted to excellence in the classroom as well. This powerhouse squad of 9 runners posted an astounding combined unweighted GPA of 3.957, proving their discipline extends far beyond the cross-country course. Even more impressive, 4 team members achieved a flawless 4.0, capping off a year defined by both athletic grit and academic brilliance. Joining them tonight is the head coach, Mai Tran, and athletic director Woody Cox, along with assistant coaches, Coach Charles Coffey. We also have the principal of Seminole High School, Mr. Michael Pfeiffer. Congratulations. right, and next up, we would like to recognize the Class 7A state champion for football. Please help me to congratulate the Lake Mary High School football team. Facing one of the toughest schedules in the state of Florida, the Rams football team started the year with much adversity and a record of 2-2 after just the first 4 games. The team never stopped believing and working. All that hard work resulted in a run of football that will go down in history. Beating the best the state had to offer and doing so in viral fashion, the Hail Mary that gave the Lake Mary Rams their first high school state football championship in school's history. Joining us tonight is the head coach right over here, Coach Scott Perry, athletic director Rick Wires, along with assistant coaches Adam Donnelly and Rob Marley. We also have the principal of Lake Mary High School, Dr. Mickey Reynolds. Congratulations to the Lake Mary football team.
Thank you very much. I was taking the photo.
Go ahead and have the other board members. Perfect. Stay right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Good evening, school board members and superintendent. I'm Shannon Reiniger, program supervisor and mentor coordinator for the Take Stock in Children program. January is National Mentoring Month, and we want to take a minute to recognize the amazing mentors in the Take Stock in Children program. Our 116 mentors support 120 students represented in each of our high schools. These volunteers give their time every week to show up, to support and encourage our students, helping them stay on track in high school and on the path to college or trade school. They build strong relationships with their students that often continue for years after graduation. Tonight, we want to celebrate our mentors that are in attendance. Mentors, please come up and be recognized and for a photo. Thank you for mentors for everything you do to help our students learn and thrive. And I have Heidi Gooch as a mentor. I have Robin Dellinger, Deborah Bauer, Sean Gard Harold, Tanisha Wells Eason, Missy Mercado, Craig Kessler, Patty D'Alessandro, Madry Molina, Amy Kirkland, Lynn Collins, Joan Heck, Marie Wilson, Jeff Sievenoller, Cheryl Blakeney, Jamel Brown, and Katie Murphy.
I know. We made it good. Somebody said it was a good nickel. Congratulations. Good. Thank you.
Hello, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good. 26. Yes, you're. Oh, I want that speech. Yeah, are we cute? Nice going.
Okay. Well, at least you shared your secrets.
4 more years.
Okay, God is doing you always do it with a great smile.
Oh, I guess he's not. Remember? Oh, yeah, I do now. I work with why do I never get presents? Come on.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. I would like to introduce the Director of Red Apple Dining, Jamie DeVivo. Jamie has served as director for the past 4+ years and is in his 20th year with SCPS. Red Apple Dining sets the standard for our pre-kindergarten through 12 campus dining, as evidenced by their ongoing multiple requests to present at state and national conferences, highlighting scratch cooking, industry events, and visits by other counties in the state to learn best practices for engagement and operations. The Red Apple Dining team strives to support district initiatives and enhance students' ability to be learning ready through their mission of nourishing and enriching the lives of our guests through an exceptional dining experience. Mr. DeVivo?
Good evening, Superintendent Beeman, Chair Dellinger, and members of the board. The board and SCPS family know students are more engaged and ready to learn when their belly is full. This is a driver for Red Apple Dining and our team to offer guests of all ages a variety of freshly prepared meals, fresh fruit and vegetables every school day. It's also why we do not deny a child a nutritious meal of their choice, regardless of their account balance. This can create an outstanding balance, which sometimes is actually the catalyst or connection that's necessary to get a family the assistance that's needed for the remainder of the school year. Red Apple Dining works with these families to resolve outstanding balances and is able to assist at times through generous community donations to Red Apple Cares. I have not seen her, but hopefully Miss Amy Duda-Kinder has made it. You did awesome, thank you. I'd like to please introduce Miss Duda-Kinder, representing Duda and its 3 family foundations this evening. Yes. Duda started as a small celery farm in 1926 in Seminole County. In celebration of their 100th anniversary and staying true to their core values of faith, integrity, community, and sustainability, the Duda family of foundations decided to make an incredibly impactful donation of $200,000 to Red Apple Dining. This blessing will eliminate the outstanding balances of all students receiving free benefits and eliminate or decrease the balances of students receiving reduced price meals. This will impact more than 5,000 students, and each family will receive individual communication for Red Apple Dining in the near future. On behalf of the students and their families, we're grateful, very grateful, for the Duda Family Foundations and their generous support of our community. As a note, community members who who may be moved to join in this effort to support students in need can visit the Red Apple Dining website, which is available directly at redappledang.com or through the SCPS website. Look under the Resources tab and follow the instructions to donate to Red Apple Cares.
All right, board members and Ms. Beeman, we are excited to announce new assistant principal at Winter Springs Elementary, Shannon Gill. Ms. Gill received her bachelor's degree from University of Central Florida in 2018, began teaching at 4th grade at Forest City Elementary, then became the school's instructional reading coach in 2022. 2025, she earned her master's degree in ed leadership and is thrilled to be the assistant principal at Winter Springs Elementary. Her family members attending tonight are her mom, Suzanne Gill, sister Erin Gill, brother-in-law Seth Griffith, and proud principal Kristen Ramkasoon.
With your daughter? Sure.
Get someone to take a picture if you'd like.
Yeah, it's video too. So.
Her way. She knows her way. Of course.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. I am very excited to announce the new Director of Employee and Government Relations and Personnel Services, Dr. John Antman. John Antman began his career in Orlando as a band director in 2006. He joined SCPS in 2013 as assistant principal and later served as principal of Childs Middle School and Millennium Middle School. He is currently the coordinator of human resources and is excited about his new role as director of employee and government relations and personnel services. Dr. Antman earned his bachelor's degree in music education from the University of Florida and a master's and doctoral degrees in education from the University of Central Florida. John lives in Seminole County with his wife and fellow Florida Gator, Leslie, and their sons, Benjamin and Joshua. I'd like to add that his family, his wife has been a teacher in Seminole County for the last 20 years at Markham Woods, and Benjamin is a 7th grader at Markham, and Joshua, a 2nd grader at Longwood Elementary. Again, congratulations, Dr. Antman.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do, Leslie.
Want mom and dad to come?
Come on up. Come on up.
Yes, I do.
You've got to be so proud.
Bravo.
It's a delicious dinner now.
Joy.
That's all. That's all. School board members, are there any agenda modifications? Gotta get that right. Member Davis?
No modifications.
Member Garrick?
No modifications.
Member Kraus?
No modifications. Thank you, Chair.
Member Sanchez?
No modifications, thank you.
And I have no modifications. Superintendent, do you have any presentations? No, wait, I'm sorry.
Chair Dellinger, we have our Focused on Student Achievement, our team assembled here for the discussion of the SCPS journey with artificial intelligence.
Thank you.
All right, well, good evening, board members. Tonight we are here to talk to you a little bit about AI and our journey that you're going to learn about here this evening. AI is here, as we all know, and we hear all about it, and it's really made it into all of our lives and everything that we do. It's become a common household term, from ChatGPT to search engines, Copilot, and even on our phones. AI is everywhere in everything that we do. And so we have always, as SCPS, always been leading the way in a lot of our initiatives and taking that first step forward that many are not doing as well as we are. And so we started a couple of years ago, as you're aware of, with the program of emphasis at both Crooms Academy and Haggerty High School with the artificial intelligence programs. And now we're moving forward with ensuring that our employees, our students, and our families understand how to properly and safely utilize AI in the educational environment. 2 years ago, Ms. Beeman, in July of 2024, and even before that, saw a need for us to put together a small group and to take some steps forward in this AI journey and ensuring that we are making a safe environment for all of our students and employees. So our challenge was to how to keep this moving forward in a way that protected in the ever-changing and constantly evolving landscape of AI. So throughout this presentation today, our hope is that we will provide you with an overview of what the SCPS AI journey has been so far and where we are going with things in the future. As you see before us today, we have some presenters, myself, along with Mike Alba, Director of Teaching and Learning, Catherine Cernkovich, the Communications Officer, Alyssa Carr from our high school ELA Specialist, and Ken Richmond, Information Security Officer, is going to share a little bit about our journey along the way. So as I mentioned, it's been a journey, and we started back in 2024 of July. We met in cabinet and started talking about what does this look like, and what do we need to be aware of in Seminole County Public Schools as we venture into this AI journey. In that first year, we had a small work group that came together several times throughout the year, and as you can see, we worked on things like policy. AI policy had been updated. We started the development of a guidebook. We started looking and meeting with professionals in the industry, professionals in the colleges that are already taking some steps with this. And that led us to kicking off some things in this school year. So far, we've already done a module on cybersecurity basics with our teachers and our staff. That was completed at the beginning of this school year before we got underway with the classes. And then as ongoing initiatives, you see here that we've got our middle school and high school device initiative. With the sales tax dollars, we have distributed to the English language arts and math classes devices in each of those classrooms, but there's a module that the teachers were given, and that includes some of the AI work as well. In the fall of 2025, we started some in-person trainings, and we have an AI pilot group that Alyssa's going to talk about in a little bit here. We kicked off some security and some AI literacy level 1 basics, and then up and coming here, we've got some elementary and middle school involvement that's going to start happening with some in-person training, all leading to the student access to AI tools here in Seminole County, again, that we'll talk about as we move forward. As we looked at what do we want to focus on, the group last year started, the work group said, let's look at a couple areas that will help to drive this journey. First thing was to ensure safety, security, and ethical use of the AI components. And as you know, there's a lot of components, and we just wanted to make sure that our staff and our students understand the risks involved and how to appropriately use all of the AI resources. Second thing here is that we wanted to enhance but not replace expertise, and that is so important. We know that our teachers are the most valuable resource, and our journey was not to find ways to replace our teachers, but yet how to enhance them by using the tools that can help them in the classroom. Third thing was to maintain focus on current district resources. And we have a great set of frameworks that our DTL team has put together. And so one of the things we wanted to do was make sure that we utilize and continue to utilize those resources, but yet enhance through the use of AI. Integrate AI use into existing practices and trainings. We wanted to model what AI use looks like and make sure that we embedded it into all the things that we're doing so that it's not one more thing that we have to add on to the plates of our teachers and our staff. And the last thing on here is to explore opportunities for operational efficiency. We know that there are things that AI can help us with, and sometimes just exploring those areas to have operational efficiency was something we wanted to use to guide our work. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Catherine, who will talk a little bit about the implementation guide and what we did to put this together.
So the AI implementation guide is really our foundational document for how artificial intelligence will be used in Seminole County Public Schools. It outlines clear principles to ensure that this technology is used responsibly and ethically, but it's also aligned with our core mission. So in developing the guide, we reviewed best practices from school districts nationwide that had already launched their AI journeys, and it enabled us to learn from their successes, but also build some safeguards and avoid some common challenges that those districts had faced. So we worked closely with a well-known researcher and speaker on AI implementation in public schools to ensure we weren't missing any essential elements when we were considering what does ethical use look like for students, staff, and stakeholders. So the guide really established consistent expectations for our teachers, students, staff, vendors, and other stakeholders. So the AI is again used ethically and with integrity across the district.
So once the AI implementation guide was complete, this was really our guiding document along with the AI considerations that Mr. Rice just went over when really we started reviewing the different AI tools. Again, you can't say it enough, right? Again, it was the staff, our teachers, our instructional staff, they are the experts in the field, and the AI is not here to replace them, just to hopefully enhance their work. Our frameworks have been developed for 5 years or more. The district invests a great deal in our instructional materials as well. So we don't want now an AI tool just being utilized and distracting from the instruction materials and all the great information and resources that our teachers have available. So that was a goal as well. So some of the tools that we had viewed and were pitched for the district to use, we just didn't see a strong alignment with Florida standards, which are unique, as you all know. So we felt it was best to look at the existing tools that are out there and then see what we could develop in-house within SCPS tools to help enhance the work of our teachers. So this led us to adopting, Gemini, Notebook LM, and Microsoft Copilot as our district adopted tools. You can kind of just took a screenshot. Informational Services did an excellent job just creating a special section within our Clever portal. That way it makes it easier for staff and teachers to really find where the district approved tools are. So that way they know if they're going through our district portal, they know that they are in a place that's going to be safe and secure, that whatever they put in these AI tools, as long as they go through our portal, isn't going to be used to train outside chatbots, or their information is going to leave SCPS servers, and just to make sure the information is safe. The other thing that you see there, the first kind of picture, is the SCPS AI framework. This was developed, basically it's an interactive site for teachers and staff to use that takes a lot of the information that's found in the AI implementation guide and just kind of makes it kind of a little bit more user-friendly, kind of more interactive site, and probably a better way to place any updates that come about, resources that we continue to develop and find. This will be a more appropriate site for teachers and staff to utilize in the future as far as anything AI related. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for the staff to use. And then what you see there is basically just showing that not every AI tool is the same, right? There's, depending on your need and your what you want out of it, is really then you can look at the different tools to see which one best aligns with your needs. So, for example, if you already have a good idea of what you're looking for, you've already kind of generated those thoughts, and you just need a document or presentation, a visual, then probably Copilot is a good one for you to utilize. But if you kind of want, if you're not really clear, you still need to kind of hash out some ideas, then Gemini is probably a good tool, right? That to be used as a collaborator as you're kind of working through different ideas. And then once you get it more streamlined to what you want, then you might switch to Copilot to produce the output that you want. And I'll give credit to Alyssa Carr for creating this as part of her trainings that she has been going through with some of her staff that she'll talk about in just a second. Before I turn it over to her, I just want to publicly recognize her just for her hard work and her leadership. She's been the one on my team that from the very beginning was the most curious and the one that was just courageous enough to try out these new tools. So it was just very natural for me to kind of tap her on her shoulders. We've got a lot of big initiatives coming. Do you want to do some of this work? And she didn't know what she was signing up for, but I'm just so thankful that she's part of the team because we would not be where we are without her leadership and support. So I'm very thankful for you, Alyssa.
So on that note, one of the things that we've done to really help equip our teachers to utilize AI with our current resources is tap into Notebook LM. So we have trained it with and grounded it in all of our district resources for our different subject areas. That way teachers can learn from and leverage our resources in a better way to support their students. And so we're trying to make things more accessible through AI, not just have it. So everything is being done very intentional to grow our teachers and to grow their professional knowledge so that they can be more successful in the classroom and just being that support at all times. So one of the things that I have been working on this year is training some of our teachers in a small group setting in a 3-part series. And so I have already completed high school, but they have liked it so much that we are continuing to pilot with them and myself and doing these one-on-one pilots where I'm going into their classroom, experiencing custom tools that I have made with their students, again, just to really help them leverage and be comfortable with this new technology that we have. We have middle school coming up. They'll be starting next month, and then I'll be helping our elementary school teachers. So everyone is getting some hands-on training. Each staff member at each school will be better equipped going into next school year. And I am really grounding my training in AI fluency because it's not about the tool you're in, it's about just do you understand how AI functions and therefore can utilize AI to best support you. And so I'm using this 4D framework, delegation, knowing what tool to use, why to use it, and what control is staying explicitly human, and what are we then delegating to AI. Then we get into description, that's that prompt engineering, how great is my prompt? That way I can get a great output from my AI system. The most important one that we are really highlighting to our teachers and to our students is discernment. Is the output accurate? Is it useful? Should I even use it? And finally, diligence, and that's taking responsibility and being open about AI use. We don't want to hide away from it. It's not a bad thing to say that I used AI. We need to be open, acknowledge it, and are really allowed to show that this is just another partner in my thinking to enhance my work, not replace my expertise. And so that has been my big focus for all departments and for all levels, and we're even going to figure out how to kind of explain this to 4th and 5th graders. That way they can also own this 4D framework and be fluent on their journey as students.
And then the other project we have going on right now is just as we prepare as a district to roll out our AI tools for students, we wanted to give opportunities for some of our teachers, administrators, and students in the district to try out some of these tools and activities that were created for them. And just to get their feedback before launching it in the spring for all students to have and what we could learn from it. So for example, the AI literacy course that we launched January 5th, these people took the course and gave us feedback. So we made slight adjustments to the course based on their feedback. And so we were really looking forward to what our students have to say. So you can kind of see there who is participating as far as, again, schools at all three levels, elementary, middle school, and high school. And again, as Alyssa pointed out, fourth grade is kind of where we're starting as far as student access to AI tools, and so be 4 through 12. Middle school and elementary students will have access to Notebook LM, and then high school has access to all three of the tools that I just shared with you. And again, just really looking at the student aspect of it, getting their feedback on the activities that did, and did the AI activities specifically create opportunities for them to collaborate more with their peers or with their teacher, and did it cause them to think critically about the tasks that they're doing, other than just using the tool to get an answer, right? And then that kind of cuts out the whole learning process. So that is kind of the challenge in the educational sphere, is that, AI tools that's their job, to give you an answer, and that's not necessarily always the best way for students to learn. It's really the process of learning. So we're really that's what we're kind of struggling with and delving into, is how can we leverage this to not cut that learning process out, but really make sure that they still develop their critical thinking skills is super important. And again, I just mentioned some of the AI literacy course on January 5th. That's still available for teachers. It's in their PD portal. It's on demand, so they can access it at any time or go back and review the materials that were shared. We also had a Canva training, both a on-demand and a webinar. That was live webinar on that day. Again, Canva has opportunities, has an AI tool built in. A lot of teachers use it, and administrators use it for creating presentations and flyers and everything. It just looks really professional and clean when they use that. And then, as Mr. Rice said, we also have these devices that went out. So we created a course to help support both teachers and students in using these new devices, both appropriately, safely, but really just to make sure we're maximizing their use in the classroom. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ken Richmond to talk about some security.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. All along, the district's approach to AI has been to treat it as a managed application rather than a novelty. So to that end, all the tools we selected were selected intentionally. They're continuously monitored, and they're held and aligned with all the same safety and compliance standards we've applied to all the other district initiatives that we have. Within those kind of 4 areas up there, there are a couple points worth highlighting. Within the AI tool selection, some of the 2 key points there are that all the models that are chosen are fine-tuned for student safety. They're not just the publicly available models. And all of them have the ability to control access based on user accounts, so we can make sure age-appropriate access to the tools. Data governance has been, and data protection has been part from the very beginning, integrated into this process from the very beginning. Access to sensitive data is protected and limited. Privacy standards are upheld. And all the chosen models, as Mike mentioned earlier, are protected by the enterprise data protection, which means any of the data that it sees is not trained to the model, and it can't be fed back into the system and seen by anybody else. So it's very well protected. Within the security and compliance scope, all the tools that we picked are integrated into our cybersecurity platforms that we already use. It's not a new system or standalone. All the approved AI tools are evaluated against regulatory compliance, like all the other tools we use, and any AI system must respect the existing data access controls that are in place, meaning no student or employee should have more access to data that AI could potentially find and give them that they shouldn't already be able to see. And then finally, on the detection and reporting front, we use all the same controls that we use in email and cloud storage. So all the AI interactions are monitored just like those tools are. We've put categories in the case systems for the ticketing system for employees to report AI incidents. And all of the tools that we've chosen have the ability for us to transparently and securely view the transactions and the interactions between the chatbots and the students. Just so we can make sure follow-up and everything's secure. And we have to have that insight in order to be able to monitor those and report off of I guess the key takeaway is, as long as we keep everybody in our protected environment, we have additional safety nets to protect everybody from anything that could potentially occur or, not occur.
So board members, as you can see, it's been a journey that we've been on here, and it's been about a year and a half that's gotten us to where we are today. But I think that we can all say how proud we are and excited we are for the methodical, intentional, and strategic path that we've taken to support our community while staying true to those considerations that I talked about at the beginning, as we talked about in the early slides. The pilot program, as you heard about, has given us a chance to share information with our teachers while also gaining valuable information about the effectiveness and what's working and what does not work with it. We had an intentional rollout of our devices to our middle school and high school students and teachers, and that's also given us a chance on a small scale to introduce the tools that are available, again, allowing us to gather information from those that are going to be utilizing these enhancements that AI provides. All of this will be leading to a full rollout to our students in a safe, secure, and ethical environment later in the spring. So we hope this presentation gave you a little glimpse into our world and all the work that we've been doing, and this just scratches the surface. I mean, there's a lot of other things that are happening as well, but this just gives you an idea of where we are currently today, and wanted to give you the opportunity, if you have any questions, to go ahead and ask away.
First of all, just thank you very much for the presentation. So board members, do you have any questions? Member Sanchez?
First of all, also thank you so much for the presentation. I'm so new to all this AI, just like so many of us, and still real skeptical about it, and I'm nervous. And I know we're doing as much as we can to make sure that, like you said, that it's not taking away from our teachers, teaching, critical thinking occurring. I'm sure we all have the same thoughts. How can we make sure that when we're implementing it and you're rolling it out, that we have the tracking, that we're making sure that they can only utilize certain ones, but if a child or a student brings in their laptop from home and they're doing their honors class or AP class or whatever class they're doing, how do we know that they're not using any other sites, or how are we checking to make sure that they're not using, you know how we used to use turnitin.com and all the different tools? How do we know that they're using their own brains and not AI? I know that's a hard one.
That's the question of the century right now.
Yes.
With AI. Everyone's asking that.
Scared.
I think Ken
I
can
shouldn't
speak
be,
a
but I am.
little bit to, more on what he already kind of talked about with some of the protections of what we can hold to. I know when they're on their own devices, that brings a whole nother perspective.
Right, so we use the same basically they're web applications, so they're monitored on site, just like regular web applications and unsafe websites that are blocked. And we just, this is kind of why we chose these systems, so we could protect them with the same tools that we already protect everything else with.
So on school grounds, they're utilizing, it's blocked. But if they use it at home, we're not able to really detect that yet.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
Member Garrick?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to all of you, but especially Ms. Carr. Being an ELA specialist is so important. That's what I'm hearing from many of our teachers being an ELA, that they're concerned that their students aren't writing, that it's difficult to determine their own voice. And I do have to share, I wrote a personal story that was about myself in my words. I put it in just for a word count, and it popped up with the analysis that it was 71% AI generated, and it was not, unless it was Autumn's intelligence. But yeah, but so I think again, as we're wading through these waters, we need to be so mindful of building trust with our students and enabling our teachers to still continue with their discernment. So thank you, Ms. Carr, for being a valuable part of this team. I had a couple of questions as you went through the slides. Has every teacher, at the end of it, will every teacher have been trained that will be using it?
So not a one-on-one in-person training. I'm one. I'm just
right.
one.
That's why
It's
I was
just me.
wondering.
So we are really doing that kind of train the trainer model. We do it with a lot of systems where we ask principals, really send us your people that are going to go back, that are excited. They're going to be a trusted voice at your campus, and that way we can spread the word we can share the wealth. That way we can get those nice, those 3-hour trainings together 3 times, and they can bring that back, and they get to take back all my resources that I used with them. They get to take those back to their schools and utilize them. So I would love to meet with every single person, but it is maybe not as feasible right now, but we are equipping them with, please take everything that I did with you and then utilize that as best as you can, or how you see fit at your campus.
Great. So cloning isn't as far along as AI.
Right,
So we can't
unfortunately.
make more of you.
Yeah.
And then finally, when we're talking about devices, where are those devices for student devices? Are those on campus only? Are they the one-to-one that they're taking home? Where are we as the rollout of that?
So where we are in this initial rollout is that we started with middle school in October, and they are just in the classroom at this time. So middle school ELA and math classrooms have class sets of them, and then in January we just rolled out with high schools, same thing, that they're class sets in the classroom, that they're not taking them home. This is just for classroom usage.
Okay, so there are multiple students using the same
Correct.
device. Okay, just wanted to make sure that I understood completely. Thank you. That's all.
And I want to add to what Alyssa was saying. While she's one person, she has been doing the AI pilot with teachers, but she's also part of the ELA cadre, so the ELA assistant principals that are meeting and having conversations with them about some of the work that she's doing, so they can then also spread it. Ms. Beeman has given a lot of time in our principals meetings to talk about this very topic and to do some of these presentations. So the leaders are getting it maybe on a more general level, but it's widespread that we're trying to get it as wide out there as we can.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to share more about the process. I appreciate that.
And I'll add to that because, we can't stop talking about the work, but our other specialists that created their own notebook LMs that are in the framework, they are also going out and training the coaches and instructional coaches at schools too, just on how to best leverage those. So it is getting out there. Again, can't touch every teacher individually, but the people we have access to, not tied to students and that they have, ability to train others, we're trying to leverage them as much as we can.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Alba.
Member Krause?
Thank you so much. Appreciate this presentation very much. Couple of thoughts. Mine were similar with Member Sanchez. How do we ensure that our students stay in only protected areas? I know in school they will be guided that way, but I'm not sure about home. And I'm hearing from parents their concern over critical thinking skills being developed over and over. Are they really just entering their math problem and getting the answer? Or, how are we doing this? So I'm curious to follow it along. I appreciate the trainings that you're doing. And if you want to add the school board in to the kindergarten level training, we'll be happy to
Yes, we would
we'll be
love
happy to pop in. I shouldn't speak for everyone, but for myself. And just really grateful that we're embracing this. Thank you.
Member Davis?
Thank you for your presentation. I know a lot of parents and a lot of people in our community are afraid of AI, and they're afraid that it's going to be misused. The 5 of you came in here and were very positive and excited about using AI and just learning the correct way to use it. It takes a lot of intelligence, too, to put in the right data in order to get your answers, especially when it comes to writing and things like that. I know in the law they're using it now, and ChatGPT, the sites were all over the place. They're not even related to what they were writing. But we have a lot of pro se people trying to do that. So the enthusiasm is wonderful, because I think AI is going to make all of our students excel, not only in school but in life, because there's so much information. And of course, we're still worried. And, I can tell you all of the mechanisms that you've described as far as protecting our students are things that were working as far as email and copying and all of that sort of stuff that I can see how you would use it for protections against, misuse of AI. I was wondering, are the teachers learning different ways to assess the students' abilities? For example, you can go home and write a paper, you can use AI, you can try to change it and all of that, but are you teaching the teachers how to maybe assess verbally? where they have to describe what they wrote in their paper, or they have to present something different. Are there any courses or classes that can be taken for our teachers to learn those types of assessments where we can make sure that the critical thinking is still happening?
So one of the things that I'm doing that I'm piloting right now with my high school teachers is a custom chatbot that I made. So when you go on like ChatGPT, that's like a chatbot feature. So I have created a custom one and through the Gemini platform where students can, it's a student writing coach. And within it, if students ask it to write their paper, it says, oh, do you need help brainstorming? And so it only asks questions of the students about their writing process. That way we can help both teachers and students kind of ethically and continue that critical thinking in kind of like a bike with training wheels. Like, yes, there's AI. You can just go talk to Gemini and it will write your paper. But we've made this custom bot where it won't. It has the training wheels on. It will not write the paper for them. And that way we can kind of show them this is ethically and a safe way to get support in your writing without it doing the work for you. And that way later on, when you are using other tools, you've thought about the ethical and the right way to utilize this, and that you can still get AI without it doing the work for you. So that is kind of an example of how we're trying to help teachers get into that space and support that work. And of course, I talk to my teachers. They are always doing a fantastic job of gathering in-class work. That way they can, when another paper comes in, we can have a critical conversation about, well, let's look at this work, done in class compared to what you submitted online. And let's have a conversation about, does the voice, does it seem the same? So we're focusing on, do we have those conversations? And we do have a lockdown browser. That way students can do their work in there and then they can't access other sites while in class. So we're training them on different ways to kind of combat all the things that are being thrown at us and that are growing all the time. So we are spending a lot of time on trying to develop very purposeful tools to help with critical thinking, because AI wants to naturally take that away. It wants to support. And so we're finding ways to make our own tools that we can then pilot with students and pilot with teachers to combat those things that we are all very worried about.
Do you see a lot of group projects in the future where they have to sit and discuss things and create things, even based on the research that they did on AI, where they would then have to use it in class?
So I think there is a lot of opportunities for us to rethink our traditional ways that we've assessed students and finding more of where let's change this from this traditional essay into this TED Talk or this, this speech instead. So there's a lot of opportunities for us to leverage our tools and kind of look at how do we assess students, and especially that way we can make sure every student can really shine. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities for us to continue to grow and adjust how we assess students.
We're at the Florida School Board Association conference back in December, and they did have some software where they had cards for teachers where they had different sort of questions to ask the students who were using AI that were more analytical. They had to understand what was happening and be able to answer these questions in class. Have you guys looked into any of that type of software or product to help us on those assessment type things?
You could certainly look into what you're speaking about and just see what that resource is. And the challenge is just evolving so quickly. So to keep up with it, it's been a lot. But every day we learn something new, and the tools, even the tools that have been adopted, continue to change and enhance and develop. And the other thing I want to bring up, just regarding teacher resources, is assisting teachers into having communications with their students before an assignment is given. So many of our teachers aren't used to having these kind of conversations. So various rubrics and resource pages were created just to help teachers kind of guide through those initial conversations with students, and making sure their expectations is clear to their students from the very beginning as to what their expectation for AI use is, whether it's no AI use at all, or a collaborator, or maybe used a little bit more extensively. So those have been developed as well. The more upfront the teachers can be, then I think it's the more time they'll save in the back end as far as trying to catch someone using a tool that they weren't supposed to.
But, Google Gemini was the one that they talked about, had training for students and for teachers. And I think that's where they had a lot of those assessment type things where you would ask them more critical thinking questions based on what they did on AI even. So, and that was all free, wasn't it? I can't remember. I think it was free.
I have to go back and
Remember if it was free, but I think our people were working with them,
Yeah.
right, already.
No, Microsoft. I think Microsoft is who presented.
Yeah.
We'll have a number of resources available for parents and students on a front-facing website once we actually launch. That's going to really help our parents understand because, they want to know how to leverage these tools. How can I help my student with that? And so while I'm not on the instructional side, what I can tell you is, some of the work that we've seen in other districts, they've done an amazing job. Let's just say, for example, tell a prompt, argue with me, the War of 1812 was the best war because this, right? And so it literally teaches students to push back against the ideas. And there are ways that you can speak to the chatbots. And again, they're protected. So, we're going to be age appropriate here. But it's going to help our students learn how to push back because we live in a society where information so much is AI generated, and students are starting to understand, maybe that dog really didn't do a backflip off of the, high diving board, right? But that is so common now. And so students are really getting good at discernment. They usually have a better eye than we do, so it takes a little bit longer for adults. But I think while there's a long journey to go, right, and it's going to be ever changing, we're going to provide as many resources as we can that help our students and our parents understand, what's safe, what can we access, and why should we use the approved district tools. We can't make people not use them, but what we can tell you is we want to help you make safe choices and understand and be able to discern any of the outputs.
You guys have a tough job, and you've done remarkable. And since this happened, all of the policies that have come out and your resources are unbelievable. Now we got to think they were talking about biases, or how they're going to give you the sources that, whatever company it is, wants you to see that point of view. So it's going to get harder and harder, but you guys have done remarkable. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Ms.
I have
Sanchez.
just a quick question. The information that you're sending out to the teachers and the parents, is there a way we can get a copy of it so we can see the letters or emails that you're sending out to them? That way we can support and help and figure out.
We haven't done anything broad yet because, again, we're in a very
What about the
controlled
pilot
pilot right
ones?
now. But yes, you will absolutely be able to see that.
Okay. What about the schools that are piloting it right now?
They,
We have-
information, like a notice, went out to parents just to inform them that their school was, or their classroom at their school was participating in the pilot. So I can send that to you all.
Okay. Does it share all the sites and everything like that they're using? And
Again, for,
Or is it
there's
just
only
a broad-
3, so I don't know if it actually names them. I can't recall, but, if they want that information, they can certainly access it. From feedback I've received from the principals so far that are participating, they haven't received a ton of emails or calls regarding that notification going out.
And so we're thinking of rolling this out close in the spring, like you said, so that's just in a couple months, really. So
As was mentioned, the controlled pilot of this is we're trying to make sure we have everything in line before we
Okay.
say,
Perfect.
here we go.
Thank you.
So yeah,
And we'll get to
there's
see
a lot of
everything
pieces. to it.
beforehand on all that. Awesome. Thank you
We've
so
gone
much.
intentionally slow compared to many
Good.
other districts who've
Slower the better.
run to it. We're being very strategic and intentional because things are changing
Right,
very
yeah.
fast, and we want to make sure that when we roll it out the right way.
It's only as good as whoever's putting in the information, so thank you.
So I do have a couple of things. First, Member Kraus, I asked about training, and already have received some instructions from Beth Pocious, so I'm sure Dr. Cody arranged that, so I'm sure she can do the same for everybody. I haven't taken advantage of it yet, but I will. There's lots of coursework, and we can take it, right? Yeah. Thinking of, I don't want to date myself here, but having been a part of some implementations, I know you've got your trailblazers, and they're out there really, going above and beyond, and also discovering whatever challenges or problems. So they're like, you know, the canaries in the mine too. And so that's really great. And I also wanted to mention, I had a question. I put, can students bring in tools that are not supported? I think that was kind of a Ken question, and you said no, because it won't allow them.
Correct. Like most of it's blocked on the firewall and things like that. So all of the dangerous stuff is protected the same way. You know, other web applications are protected.
So even if they have their at-home computer that they're taking back and forth with them every day.
If they're connected to our network, yes, but if they don't connect it to our network, we can't see the traffic.
I'm just recalling, and like I said, this is me dating myself, back when we first got computers in the classroom and that kind of thing. And when I would have my students working on a project, they were always bringing in applications and things that we didn't have at the school. And I had to say, we're on a level playing field here. You have to use what we provide, right? So I just wonder if that's got to be some safety measures on that, right?
Well, some of the regular computers, like they can't install stuff on our computers. They can't,
Right.
you know, run applications off thumb drives and things like that and CDs. So, I mean, our devices are protected on our, so they can't just randomly install stuff, and they can't, you know, go to, you know, dangerous websites and things like that.
Right, good. And then I wanted to just make a comment about the LMs, the workbook LMs. I think that is fantastic. I mean, there's so many supplemental materials that teachers have access to that sometimes you don't even know what's in all of them. And so to be able to ask someone to help you find something within your resources, that's fantastic. And has got to save teachers a lot of time, but also give them access to something they might not even realize was there, instead of going out and trying to find stuff on their own. So that's fantastic. I just really think that's a wonderful thing to do, provide, develop. I know it's super time consuming to do it, but that's a fantastic tool and support for the teachers. That's really all I have. Now it is time for, yes,
Well,
sorry.
Would just like to thank the team, and I know that they have been working
Really
overtime and extra hard, and look forward to coming back to provide an additional update once we are out the block and further down the line on the journey. So that will excuse
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
So now it's time for public comments on agenda items. Vice Chair Garrick, would you please read the statement? Oh. No public comment forms. All right, that saves a minute. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I do.
Yes, but
Okay.
before you do that, board members, it's time for general comments. So, Member Sanchez, you're up first.
So for general comments, just wanted to state that we started session, and it's important for everybody to stay on top of what's going on in Tallahassee and in the federal government. I know I hear all the time, well, I don't watch the news, I don't want to see this or that. Things are going to creep up on you if you don't at least go to the sites and go to my Florida Senate, floridasenate.gov or floridahouse.gov. Track the bills, see what's going on. You can sign up for alerts. So if you want to follow certain bills, certain committees related to education, or if you want to follow something that's related to mental health, whatever you want to follow, you can get the alerts. The Florida Channel, 24/7, you can watch that anytime. So it's important to see what's going on in Tallahassee. Please, there's a directory. And like I said, that Florida Channel is amazing because you can even schedule what videos you want to see and when you want to see it too. So they're live streaming them all the time, but I encourage everybody to do that as much as possible. I know that Dr. Dellinger and I will be heading to Tallahassee next week with Florida School Board Association, and then I'll be going back again a few times, and I think a couple of you all are as well. And then I just wanted to, can't even remember if we had a chance to congratulate Lake Mary last time or not. Like the holidays just crept up on us, and I can't remember any of that. But congratulations to all of our athletic programs, our schools, just all of our different programs that we have that have been doing phenomenal jobs, and to all of our teachers, faculty, we appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Member Vice Chair Garrick.
It doesn't seem like my mic is working, but you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Go
Strange.
ahead.
All right. Well, anyway, good. 26 came and we've hit the ground running. There have been so many phenomenal initiatives happening throughout the district. I want to say thank you to Chair Kraus and Superintendent and Dr. Dellinger for letting me jump in with the storytelling that we had at the Big Trucks Bright Futures. You were all game to play along with my props, and I so appreciate staff. It was amazing. Over 1,200 families joining us to find out about the choices that we offer in Seminole County Public Schools. So thank you to all of the departments. I'm looking at Assistant Superintendent Elwood. She was stuffing bears and and making little kids' faces light up, of course. And we had Dr. Gard Harold was fabulous, running around answering everyone's questions. I was really beyond excited to welcome families to our schools and to remind everyone that we are a choice district. Over and over at the state and federal level, parents are aware that choice is important, and parents should always be the most important person in a child's education, but very close second are teachers. And so by creating those long-lasting, true partnerships, we're able to brighten futures for our kids. So that was great. Then, of course, FEMA just happened this last week, and this is a different kind of FEMA, the Federal Education Music, the Florida Education Musical Association. I am beyond thrilled that 2 of our middle schools reached the over 50% participation in a music course, which one is Millennium, which you would expect. The other is Lake Childs Middle School, Lawton Childs Middle School, sorry. Lawton Childs Middle School, and then tonight we had Director Antman here with his wife, who is a music educator, and one of their sons was selected to be in the all-state chorus, which was just fabulous. So loads of opportunities. Our music education and arts are truly a differentiator, and so when families are looking for something special, that hook that gets their child into school and to stay at school, whether it's athletics or whether it's the arts, we have it all. A big shout out to Sanford Middle School, who is known for their STEM and IB programs, but they just had 3 students create an independent short film, which won huge recognition. I know, I said, how do we see it? So shout out, lots of arts opportunities at every school, whether it's a magnet or not. And last but not least, I just want to say that Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday is my very favorite time in our community. We are reminded again and again that we have unity through community. I want to say a special shout out. I'm so glad that Mr. Kenneth Bentley joined us today. A shout out to the Sanford MLK Steering Committee. Tons of events. We heard the phenomenal speaker tonight. There were, between Oviedo's Citizens in Action, big shout out to them as well. There were 8 events in 4 days. Dozens of schools, community organizations, businesses, and the quote that spoke to me, I always learn something new each time we attend some of these events, but the quote that spoke out to me from Dr. King was, "I have the audacity to believe that peoples everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education, and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits." And we as a community, if we believe this and we prioritize these goals, I know that we can make it happen. So thank you.
Member Krause?
Thank you so much. It's always hard to follow you, Vice Chair. It's always hard to follow you. It seems like a long time ago since our last meeting, but we've had busy schedules, and I tried to highlight just a few of my most favorite moments. I spent an entire day as a third grader, and my buddy was Bennett Griffin. From first bell to the last bell, we did language arts collaboratively. We learned about the Wright brothers. We went to the media center, and for any schools buying media materials, the third grade boys really like the Guinness Book of World Records. You can't have enough copies. They're not, you can't check them out, but they gravitate towards those after they've chosen their books. We bought lunch I bought lunch at Red Apple Dining. Bennett was a bringer, but his mom wrote notes for both of us, which I thought was adorable, and had toasted cheese sandwich, grilled cheese, and a bowl of tomato soup, and had lunchtime. We played football in the field. Some of the other kids went to the playground, but it was a phenomenal experience, and I'm so glad all of you will have that chance too coming up. So that was probably the highlight of the last month. We also attended the Superintendent Circle Breakfast and update on our CTE programs and all the good things going on in our schools. That was held at Lyman High School. And it just shows the value of our public-private partnerships, our community members that truly get it and want, these are their future workers, so we're preparing them. Let's see, Science Center, I have a meeting tomorrow. Member Sanchez and I went to Lake Howell High School we were secret soup judgers. I guess that's a word, right? Yeah. Tasted their fabulous culinary students provided. It's going to be a great day when we do our super cook-off. It used to be a chili cook-off. Now it's super, I think. But they are prepared, and they had us taste test their soups and their accompaniments, and it was fabulous. And thank you for going with us. And then just one final note, our superintendent was honored at the MLK dinner, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of your work. Thank you.
Member Davis.
Just looking at our presentations today alone, it just reminds me how important our community is to the education of our students and their happiness. When we looked at the foundation and take stock in children, it's one person affecting one student. And you think that, that alone is a big deal because it takes up a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy and positivity. But the gift is bigger than the one mentor and the one mentee, because they go on and they share their experiences and their kindness and their respect with other students. And it doesn't get limited to that one student, because then they act on those lessons that they learn just in socializing with someone who cares about them. And that care gets spread through their friends and their own family and other people in the community. So when we think about things that we do that might seem small, and that is no small heap, take stock in children, but whether it's donating to someone's school lunch, whether it's saying good morning to a student at the bus stop, whether it's just shaking somebody's hand as they enter school, all of those things get passed on. I was so touched this morning when we had due to donate that money to bring up all of the accounts, or most of the accounts, to a zero balance for students who were not able to pay for everything that they received for lunch or breakfast. And I remember when I was in school, we could not go in the negative. We didn't have accounts. You had to bring the cash money to get it. And plenty of times I brought a mayonnaise sandwich because we didn't have any cheese or meat to go inside of it. And I understand how these kids can feel embarrassed by that, and kids, you know, they just get teased and things like that. So our Red Apple Dining is amazing, the way that they respect students and their privacy and you know, just understand what kids go through. You know, kids today, it's hard for some of them to bring a mayonnaise sandwich to school. I didn't really have a problem, but, you know, I was raised a lot differently. So I'm just glad that we're there for them and that there are families and companies out there in the community that are willing to donate. Additionally, they're going to be starting a web page where we can continue that movement by donating ourselves. Any of these little things that you can do, it doesn't have to do with money all of the time, but any of these little things that you can do go a long way, not only with our students and the way they share the gift of love and kindness, but it also affects us as parents when our students come home and share that type of behavior, and then it affects the community. So I appreciate all of you who contribute even the slightest little thing, the kind gesture, because it does go a long way, and it helps us in Seminole County, you know, to be a place where people care. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, members. There's a long list of things to mention tonight, but mainly, first of all, I'd like to say, Vice Chair Garrett, next year I'm bringing props. Okay, so I was just going to read the book. I didn't know we had to act the book, so next year I'm going to be prepared for that. Read White and Blue. If you read at the information item in the back of our agenda book, we're celebrating 250 chapters of America. Read White and Blue. I think that's very cool. And it prompted me to think about our 250th year celebration. So I'm going to leave my other comments and just kind of share my thoughts on this because I think it's really important. So the United States of America celebrates an extraordinary milestone, 250 years since our nation declared its independence and began the great experiment in democracy. Our founding fathers believed that an educated citizenry was essential to freedom. They knew that democracy could only survive if each generation was prepared to think critically, participate responsibly, and care deeply about the common good. That belief is why public education became one of America's greatest promises. Today, in Seminole County Public Schools, we are living that promise. That's my belief. Our classrooms are where the next chapter of America's story is being written. Our teachers guide curiosity into knowledge and help our young people grow into the next generation of leaders. Our parents reinforce their values and traditions, whatever they may be. Our students bring fresh ideas, creativity, and energy that will shape the next 250 years. This anniversary is more than a historic celebration. It is a reminder of shared responsibility. The strength of our nation has always depended on strong communities, engaged families, and schools that prepare young people not only for careers, but for citizenship. We are very fortunate in Seminole County to have an amazing community that supports our schools with their time, talent, and treasure. All of us contribute to the success of our A-rated, academically high-performing, #1 STEM district with a graduation rate of 94.4%. As we honor and celebrate 250 years of American history throughout the year, we should also look forward. We must continue to invest in our children, to support our educators, and work together to build a future worthy of the ideals that are the foundation of our great nation. So thank you for being partners in this work. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for believing in our schools, and thank you for helping keep the promise of America. And that's it for my comments. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
I move that the consent agenda be approved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Is asking who was second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. All right. Any nays? No, thank you. Motion's approved. Thank you. Get to the last page here. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation regarding student discipline hearings?
I do. It's that the School Board of Seminole County approved the student disciplinary recommendations from December 15th, 2025.
So moved.
I'll second. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? No. Motion passes. Superintendent, do you have a report?
I do. My report is primarily read-only and includes all of the items listed, but do you have a special presentation regarding the graduation rate that was just mentioned here? And so Mr. Rice will walk us through the 24-25 grad rate information.
Sorry, Mr. Rice, I blew your surprise.
Spoiled it. But we can say it over and over again. We are very excited to share the news that we received about a week ago on our graduation rate. And as you see here on the slide, as was already said by Dr. Dellinger, 94.4% graduation rate for Seminole County Public Schools. And, I get to stand up here and be the one to speak to this, but it's our principals, it's our counselors, it's our teachers, it's a K-12 system that all leads to this effort right here. And as you see, 2.6% increase from that 91.8 last year to the 94.4. 5 students away from the 94.5, about to get up to that 95 and round it up, but regardless, just so proud of the incredible work that our principals, when they heard the challenge last year, we were at 91.8, and we said, we can get there, we can get this up even higher than we are. I asked a few of them to get to that 95, and you'll see the slide in a second here. Every single one of them achieved their goal that they had set out to do. So very, very proud of the work. I do want to say that it's the highest SCPS graduation rate since the adoption of the federal uniform rate, which was back in 2011. We do have an exception because the COVID years, there was some emergency orders by the Department of Education to dismiss the requirement for the testing because we didn't test those students in that year. But again, it is the highest, so we are very, very proud of everything that has happened to lead to this 94.4. As you see here, this is just a quick overview of that trend over the last, really since 2014. And last year, when we had that 91.8, you see that growth from 91.8 to 94.4. 2.6% increase for Seminole County schools, only 2.5 for the state, so we are outdriving the state, so very proud of that work. Our next slide here is very, very impressive. This is the subgroup analysis and showing how each of our subgroups has increased, some quite drastically. As you see, our Hispanic population, our Black population, our ELLs, our free and reduced lunch, I mean, all of them grew quite a bit. And I will say this is intentionality by our school leaders and by our teachers and by our counselors, going student by student, looking at every one of them and figuring out what is the plan for this student and how do we help that student to get across the line. Over the last several years, we've been trying to figure out how do we help them with the concordance scores, and how do we, if they haven't passed their ELA or their Algebra 1 assessment, how do we give them the right instruction to meet their needs and where they're going to be successful. And over the last 3 years, we went from 4.4% of our students needing a state assessment by the time they graduated, down to 3.8, and last year was like 1.9% of the students only needed that assessment. So again, that's that intentional work, looking at every student. That's how we get the subgroups to where they are here today. I do want to give a shout out because we had several of our schools earn 100% with their subgroup. So I just want to share that real quick. We had, with the Black subgroup, Lake Brantley High School, Lake Howell High School, and Oviedo High School. 100% of the Black subgroup of those campuses graduated. Her Hispanic subgroup, Lake Howell High School, at 100%. And our ELLs, Hagerty, Lake Brantley, Lake Howell, and Oviedo, 100% of those students also graduated. So we have not seen that in the last several years, and really are working to help all students to get across the line. And as I mentioned, and we've talked about before, this is opportunity for these students. This is an opportunity to do something additional after graduating high school, and this is that first step to that opportunity. Here's a breakdown of the high schools and the growth that they've had. As I mentioned first, every single one of the high schools hitting that 95% mark as their threshold and really working with each individual student. I want to point out a couple. Crooms Academy, continually year after year, last 3 years in a row, 100% grad rate. Lake Howell High School, that 99.6 for them is, and let me say this, then you'll clap even more, is only 2 students away from being 100% grad rate. So congratulations to Lake Howell.
Principal Howard.
And one of our biggest growth, as you see on here, going from an 88.3% to a 95.4%. Seminole High School, making it happen. Yes. And I would be remiss if I didn't say Seminole County Virtual School, too. Look at the growth over the last couple of years, jumping from that 89.4 to 100% of their students graduating this year. So awesome work. And last, I do want to point out Elevation High School, because you may look at that and look at that number and think, how can we grow that? But Elevation is what they call a second mile school, and these are students that would or were already on a path or making a decision to say, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm ready to drop out. 60 students that were gonna drop out. Our teachers, our counselors, our principals were able to say, no, I have one last opportunity for you, and 60 more students walked across that stage. This does not represent, a lot of times in the second mile organizations, they're looking at how many other students graduate maybe in that 5th year, because the federal uniform rate is a 4-year grad rate that once they walk into high school, they're expected to graduate in 4 years. And there's a number of students that also graduate in that 5th year. They come in so far behind with credits that it takes a little bit longer for them to get across, but they're still getting that high school diploma. So a lot of great work here by our schools, again, our principals, our leaders, our APs, our counselors, teachers. Everyone has really led to just an amazing grad rate, 94.4, and we're going to keep on going up. So congratulations. Thank you to our team.
So it's time for committee updates. Board members. Member Sanchez.
Just have a couple quick ones. The Asian Lantern Festival for the zoo just finished, and I know a lot of you had a great time going to the zoo. Keep in mind that spring break is popping up shortly, so if you need to find activities for your children for the spring break, the zoo has already opened up their spring camps, and they fill up rapidly, so fill in for that. I forgot to mention that Seminole Cultural Arts Council event for Taste of the Arts, and Lake Howell students will be providing the food, will be February 7th, and tickets sold out last year. We're holding it at the Longwood Community Center this year, so make sure you get your tickets early or it will be sold out. And also, I'm shadowing at Lake Mary tomorrow. I'm looking forward to being a 9th grade student for the day. So I'll be up at the crack of dawn for that, looking forward to it. And I think you told me to get there super early because of the traffic, right?
I got stuck in the car lane.
Okay, I'll make sure I leave early for that. And also, kudos to our Young Men of Excellence, Young Women of Excellence. The chess tournament was fabulous at Seminole High School. They hosted it once again. And Mr. Robert Guy and all of our Young Men of Excellence and Young Women of Excellence teachers for doing such a phenomenal job, not just you all, but everybody. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair Garrick.
So my 2 community committees did not meet this year, or in this year. Yes. So I'll update you next time. I was able, next week, the superintendent and I will go to the foundation retreat, but I was able to go to the programs committee. Thank you, Member Davis, for stepping in on the first part of that meeting. But so programs for the foundation, primarily we talked about tools for schools and the Take Stock in Children. So we saw tonight the great celebration and what an impact they're having. The League of Women Voters has a fabulous education committee. I was able to join in packing up some backpacks at Tools for Schools with that group last week, so thank you for all you do. And also had an opportunity, I know a couple of you did as well, to join the Florida PTA discussion about, they had a panel where they shared information about the current impact of vouchers and the diversion of funds from public schools to other options. $5 billion a year is what that program has been costing the state. So we're looking at legislation. Please keep your eyes on it as far as accountability and how we can make it a more equitable process. And then as well, I'll let you talk about the Sterling Park since you were featured there. We appreciate that discussion as well. So thank you.
Member Krause.
Thank you so much.
I'll be real quick. Our strategic plan steering committee meets the 28th. Tomorrow is the last day for everyone to complete the survey. If you'd please, we need your feedback. It's on our SCPS website. I've posted it multiple times, but please share your thoughts with us so that we can fully encourage a really good participation. I went to my first business advisory board and had a warm welcome there. The next meeting, however, is I've been invited to Tuscola Middle School's 50th celebration, and they're inviting all their former employees. I know Dr. Griffin will be there. He's a former principal. Sheriff Lima was the SRO. He's been invited. Like, everybody is coming back for their 50th, and I was wondering if, Chair, if I could ask for permission for someone to cover the Thursday, February 5th meeting at 6 p.m. Will you check your calendars and let me know, please?
Sure. Anybody available on February the 5th?
For business advisory, it's at 6 p.m.
I have
On
a
Thursday, it goes until about 7:30.
I have a conflict with Midway.
Okay.
So thank you.
I have an Altamont Elementary Advisory Committee meeting. If that changes, then I could go to the BAB, or maybe I could be a little late getting to BAB. So I could do it, but probably not maybe the whole thing, but I can do it.
Well, if not, Dr. Mullins will be there, will be part of it, and can share information. If we can take this offline, I needed coverage for that one.
Right.
Thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Member Davis.
Our Children Alliance meeting is tomorrow, and then I have a subcommittee meeting next week, so I'll get back to you next board meeting.
Okay, thank you. I attended the Central Florida School Boards Coalition meeting. I'm sure some others joined in. The main discussion there was the upcoming legislative session, and then also there was a lot of discussion. I think it was Brevard County that presented about their options in the marketplace. It was very interesting, some of the things that they're doing. I also attended the Council of Local Governments in Seminole County, which we call CalNO. I don't know why we call it that, because that's not what the acronym is. But anyway, we met at the Altamont Global Innovation Lab and got an update on the new innovations and collaborations. And I will say that I was super impressed by how positively they spoke about Seminole County Public Schools, our partnership, interns, our superintendent, and willingness to work with them. And so I think they're maybe looking for more collaboration. And so it was a really positive meeting. The Florida PTA Zoom meeting was very interesting and had a lot of good data. And then the Sterling Park PTA Town Hall. I was supposed to be a panel. It wasn't really a panel. It was me and one other person. But basically the topic of their conversation was Schools of Hope legislation. And so I was able to answer questions from it was really pretty well attended, I thought, and able to answer questions. And also they had a really good presenter on that. So I think that this, it's a great opportunity for people in the community to know how legislation and things that are implemented in statute influence or impact our schools. So I have received some good positive feedback from that. So I think it was well received anyway. And just a reminder, board members, if you are not able to make any of your committee meetings, if you would either call or text me or Jill so that we can put the feelers out for somebody to cover to make sure that we're at all of those meetings that we plan to go to. That's it for me. Since we have no public comments, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:16.
Jeez.